We started with 100K and this got up to 194K. You can see that our net profit, 77% based on a 100K starting account. This expectancy right here, which is the average, that's going to be our $3,215 winner. What's going on? It's Ryan here, CEO and head quant at happytrader.io. Today, we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin futures using our indicator, happytrader.io, sentiment AI with the Luma trend. We're going to be doing the long only backtest for year to date 2024 on Bitcoin CME futures. So, we're going to be using a swing trading methodology for this backtest, and we're going to go from our uptrend signal to our downtrend signal for the backtest. So, the first thing I want to do is point out that we haven't been in a crazy Bitcoin bull market like we've seen in the past, but we've certainly been kind of on the ups when you're using a swing trading strategy. And when I'm using a swing trading strategy, and if there's any cryptocurrency that's going to have that upward drift over a longer time frame, it's going to be Bitcoin. You can see some of the big moves that Happy Trader caught. I want to just clarify, this is not super trend or a free indicator. We're not trading off of potential reversal signals like these here, buy and sell. We're trading specifically off of our uptrend and downtrend signals, which are proprietary to us. You can see that we have the buy AI signal overlaid right directly on top of the arrow there. And then we just simply close the entry when we get our downtrend signal and we just go signal to signal. Now, that's not how you have to trade it. You could go down onto a lower time frame. If you're somebody who likes the 5-minute chart and you want to trade intraday, that's something that you can definitely do as well. You can catch some really sick moves doing it that way as well. You just have to set your alerts right here: buy, sell, sentiment AI buy, and sentiment AI sell. We're going to go back to the 45-minute chart and set up our back test. The first thing we want to do is take a look at margin. Bitcoin margin, brought it up for you here. You can see here, initial margin, we're really only going to be able to do one contract. Look at the overnight margin for Bitcoin. 94K. Intraday margin, 20,000. No problem. If you're a scalper, you can have a $100,000 account and you can trade 5 contracts. Let's say you're a small account trader, you can go with something like Nano Ether, right? That would be something that you could look at. For the sake of this back test, we just want to look at straight up Bitcoin. We're going to do a $100,000 starting account and just one contract for this back test and see if we get margin called. We're going to get into the back testing knowing our margin requirement for Bitcoin. We're going to let everything load back up. We're going to pull our strategy tester up. That's going to be the first thing. We want to make sure we set our dates correctly. I don't know if TradingView did an update, but this looks a little bit cleaner. Let's go into our settings. 100,000 is the default one contract. Pyramiding we have to get rid of. We don't want 2 orders in the same direction. That's going to mess our back test up. And of course, we're just going to be using the signals which are sent through alerts to your mobile device or your computer or your, any device that you're using that has TradingView, and also to your emails. All you have to do is go in, set up your alert, and then you can set once per bar, once per minute, whatever kind of trader you are. You can even use webhooks if you're a quant. You can do email pop-ups, notify an app, handbell sound if you're on the computer, all that good stuff. We're going to get straight into this back test now that I've gone over margin requirements and all that stuff. So we're just looking at 2024 year to date. Toggle off our strategy and then toggle it back on. Let's go ahead and generate the report. All right, so we have our report up, and now we can see not only decent net profit year to date, I mean, compared to the S&P 500, but we are talking about crypto here. The first thing I want to look at is we did go a little bit into the red. Let's see how far we went. Looks like we went down to like 95K. We might have got margin called for about $1,000 there. Now, like I mentioned in some other videos, you can always take opposite positions. Let's say you have coin long at one contract, you can take the ether nanos, you could take 10 short, or you can just go 1 ether short depending on your margin account size. Again, if you have a smaller account, there's smaller contracts for crypto, as you probably already know. We're not using any additional 10x, 100x, 50x leverage here. This is just one straight up CME regulated contracts. Pretty good, actually. We didn't take a huge drawdown, real smooth there. And then we got back up above water. What we would have done is as soon as this got down to like, let's say 98,000, we put on our hedge and then we start unwinding that hedge. It looks like we had to put it on again, but we're trading on the 45-minute chart. So we're talking days here. Finally, we get up to 110K. We draw back down to about 101K, and then we go all the way up on a rocket launch to 144K, which is really interesting there. And then we go all the way up to 193K and then kind of dip off that, kind of almost retest it like a double top. We dip down, and then now we're starting to see a little bit of a pick me up. We're sitting currently at 77%. You can never time the market, but if you were to sell at the top, this is going to be almost 100% because we started with 100K and this got up to about 194K. So pretty cool there. Next thing we want to look at is total trades. So 24 trades year to date. Really low maintenance, really low commissions. Great. Now, one thing I can say is with the drawdown, we've been very bullish. We've been a little more bullish compared to previous bull markets, 2017 and then 2021. A little bit slower of a roll, but when things become regulated, you tend to get that upward drift, and then you'll get a little bit different characteristics in your bull markets, right? So not every bull market's going to look identically the same, right? Our average trade, $3,215 of profit, a max drawdown, 18%. We're playing nicely into the happy trader conventions. About the 1 out of 3 winning trades, 37.5% profitable there. And then if we kind of dig into the performance summary, you can see that our net profit is just, 77K, and that's going to be 77% based on a 100K starting account. And that's just the difference between these two right here. If we go to the list of trades, you can see the trade log here. One thing that I always love to point out is that if you are a scalper or you're a short-term trader, you have the chance to take profit on run-ups, even on losing trades. This is about as basic and rudimentary as it gets, going signal to signal and still having that expectancy is just wonderful. It just shows how strong our signals are and how good they are, right? Compared to anything out there on TradingViews. We want to go in here and just kind of look at some of the trades. We only had this 37% win rate, but if we look at the list of trades, you can see we go on these losing sprees and then we have these big winners, right? With even bigger run ups sometimes. And you can see here we had a $2,000 loser, but we had a $14,000 winner. Anybody in their right mind would have taken this trade off. So a lot of these losers aren't even losers. You can look at it that way, or you can look at it just going signal to signal, having a positive expectancy that, crushes the S&P 500, or just buy and hold if you're just holding tokens using the CME futures. A really nice back test here, and you can see just a couple of big whopper winners. When we do take those big up moves, you're definitely going to reap the full benefit of that as far as trading leverage futures. As you can see here, and you can see that our winners are bigger than our losers. We did take this big L here, but you can see that if we look at the difference between the winners and the losers, that's where we get this expectancy right here, which is the average. That's going to be our $3,215 winner. That's not bad at all. In fact, it's great. Not everybody's going to trade signal to signal, but I wanted to just demonstrate and kind of show what that curve looks like and that you can delta hedge out kind of in the beginning because you don't know at what stage you're entering. You could be entering your strategy here and then draw down to here. You could be entering it here, draw down to here. You want to make sure your margins are in line with what you're actually doing. That's really going to be the video for today. There's not a lot much more that I can say other than happy trader for Bitcoin, for the NASDAQ, for the ES, for the Ethereum futures. It does really well. It outperforms the market. It's a solid tool. You can use it on any time frames. Let me just go ahead and just demonstrate that. We can go down to the 15-minute. If you're a scalper, you get these uptrend signals here. We can remove our back tester now. You can see that sometimes we get these buy and sell signals, but these are fake outs. These are just potential trend reversals showing some sentiment. So you can see just looking around on the 15-minute chart, lots of scalping opportunities. And of course, we don't want to trade these fake out signals like these buys and sells here. These are going to be just potential trend reversals. We're only looking at our signals here. And if you were to back test these buy and sell signals here, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. Be really careful with that. You can see here, this one's interesting. When you get the happy trader signal prior to the potential, that's usually when you're going to get a high amplitude move. And that's exactly what happened. You can see there, we had the signal, we had the heads up. Then when we got the buy, we knew that there was going to be a pop. And the closer this is to this, you're going to get that higher amplitude move. We're not even shorting the market. We're just going long, just kind of going with the market on the updrafts. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed that backtest. A little bit of a follow-up video, just kind of showing how Bitcoin's doing, how Happy Trader's doing in relation to Bitcoin. My name's Ryan. I'm the CEO and head quant here at happytrader.io. Have a great day and happy trading.